Right now, and we sign in. Boom. Alright, folks, this is Hermes Gambit, and we are back with Tales of Arise for Monday and Tuesday. You guessed it, folks. We're in space. And we made it to Lenegis, the Renan homeworld. Exciting, isn't it? Anyway, before we get started, as always, if you're on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe. You'd really be doing me a solid. I'm bringing you premium content every night at 9. Nah, I'm not going crazy at all. Yeah, this has been fun. I like streaming. Gives me an excuse to actually play stuff. And make a little money on the side. But yeah, let's get started. And honestly, with the hours we racked up, your boy also can qualify for partnership. I just need 75 constant viewers.
This place is rather gloomy.
Why don't you
I'm excited
for us while we're here then?
I'll see what I can do.
But yeah, let's get this on the roll. I know, on truth, I can end this quickly, but I want to take care of the side quest boss in this. Because they're annoying. Looks like we got a skip.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
Probably a bunch.
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zoogles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Okay. Alright guys, let's see how bad this place is. Would you look at that? We got 552 CP. We can heal for days. I know the song, guys. I'm gonna lie, that PS4 fan is loud. I am not transferring all my stuff on there. Because I'm gonna treat my PS5 like the good China. But I admit, I really like it. But I gotta change up the faceplates. I don't like the whole white thing. I want black faceplates. They're more sexier. Like the original PS4. I like the design of the PS4. It's more sleeker, more aerodynamic. But no, I still like my PS5. I barely know when it's on. It's that quiet.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
This place is a mess.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
Oh, I'm sure they would.
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest?
Crown contest is over.
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
Fake like you won.
Hey, Dohalim. Don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me.
Renans.
More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this.
We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
I don't know forbidden stuff.
The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Let's go, team.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
Oh, yeah.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Oh, D-Money. He must be remembering the past.
So who's Faria?
Law?
Really? Really, Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
They'll
And
be
don't
seeing
forget
her.
about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Oh, this is gonna work out nice.
The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process.
They really wanted
It's
that
just-
Astro energy.
Unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
Oh, yeah.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Our team, let's head on up. Oh, I'm trying to head up, but they're skid after skip.
I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
I don't think they care.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Alright. Okay, now we can talk. People here? Whoa, what the heck's going on here? Okay. Oh man, I thought that was a treasure box. I was getting excited.
Oh dear me, what an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it.
What? Your city's destroyed. What?
But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
Nice lie, Dolly.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Guess they're Earth Elementals, right?
Your good wishes do me an honor.
So, whole district's pretty much ruined. Same time we found strawberries. They're falling apart and looks different. Nothing fair, kids. So the Zeugles are out of control. That dang sovereign when you need them. Someone requires aid. Fancy parfait.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Well, let's find some more information.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Something's wrong, because nobody's ever seen this one before.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind.
She might have caused all this.
Sorry to take up your time.
Oh, did I look back here? No, I did not. Oh, orange gel. See, we can't afford to miss any items, folks. Okay, so the Zeugles are hidden somewhere else.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best.
No, he doesn't.
I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how?
Everybody knows his name.
I heard you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least.
Yeah, might get a chance to fight some Zoogles.
I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
All right, we gathered our clues.
Well, we canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
No kidding.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep.
Oh, that's
Nothing
bad.
happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over.
I
would've
think
thought
something's
ruling
wrong with
Lenegis
that.
alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Y'all haven't thought about
Neither
this?
have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
That appears to be
Hold
the
up.
case.
What are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself.
No one but the
No one
Sovereign.
but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and
Yeah,
forth,
that's a whole nother
surely.
planet.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right?
Alvin's a
before the
man-made
ceremony.
Sovereign.
But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign, though it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest.
It must be another man-made one.
We have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Heros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you?
Man, honestly, I hope he's dead.
The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me.
Questions, and
yet more questions.
Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
Citizens mentioned a passage that they thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Y'all still want to talk? Yeah.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
See?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude.
That sounds alright.
That sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
Nah, there's still a class system. Just who's rich and who's rich.
Heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still
a spaceship. We can go to the next one.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
How you manipulate the masses?
It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Yeah, Kassar and Dohalim are still low level.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
Same, especially since they were
What
nuts.
they think if they were here to see Lenegis now? Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
See, that's what I didn't really like about this. They didn't flesh out the lords. If they ever make an anime, I hope they do.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city,
Like,
going about their day-to-day
even in
lives,
Berseria with the
gets you thinking.
Cardinals, they each had a little bit of a background. I'll mix another one. Symphonia, the Zion Grand Cardinals. Everyone had a background. What was it? Forstisis Magnar. Let's see, Pronema. Rodile. Like everyone has some kind of background.
Imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Guys, this is officially a quest, so more talking. Okay. Well, it shouldn't be that bad, right? What you got, buddy? Okay, Elwasi Tildiles. No better as Lord Balsif. Giant brute. You realize he can be an aggressive man. Remember his household. House Tildilius doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that. It's any who would mean us harm. Okay, so he was a nobleman of his house. It's the fire guy we first killed. Interesting.
Yes.
Dream of serving any other lord. Okay. So we know a little about
Balsif
Balsif.
had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Well, well. We learned a little about Balsif. But yeah, I'll say it again. I wish we learned more about these lords. All we get is this little information dump. Kind of sad. Ah! So she knows about House Ilkars. Since we're writing on the subject's determined. Here exists the most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from famed House of Karis, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The scores of boorish and couth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. That's a long-ass poem. Love of collecting things. Yeah, will my masterpiece be complete? Alright, we learned a little about Dohalim.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Alright, let's see what's next up. Well, again, I am not a fan of info dumps. I think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyrius. Dohalim, all that dreadful Lord Almedra. Valkyrius must be Ganymede, right? Yeah, Ganymede. Crewman by assist, they're early mistaken. Yeah, so his house views him as a noble man. And he wanted a complete takeover of Dana. But than that, I think not. Advancement of our kind. That guy was a light-wielding jerk. Joining him on the surface.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
Yeah.
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
Ain't that something?
Why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Okay. Guess we head to the next area. Cause this quest is still ongoing. So we need to learn about Almedria and Volron. Alright, let's see what we can learn. Very low. No items. Oh, but toss and save in case we actually run into a Zuba. Okie doke. You know, not often a cave in peer pressure, but I picked up a little Noah today. It's some kind of roguelite dungeon simulator thing. I hope it's a blast.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
This is the rich people sector? Oh, get up, let's talk.
Pardon me.
Falls under the jurisdiction of highest Chineras. She departed once. Ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almedria. Still, there's only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest. Almedria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father, previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. Wow. Oof, that is some Drow elf tactics. Enemies near the slightest opposed strike. Major is a woman of talent. No one in Rena better exemplifies the virtue of our nation's meritocracy.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Got that right. Alright. See who we got left. Guess that's... let me see. Ah, Volron. So... hey, guards. Order you to find her right out of here. Man, that is terrible. Alright, maybe he knows some info.
Ridiculous.
this.
Can I help you? Ardent supporter of Lord Urwagli Hildarius myself. What's sudden death on this? So Urwagli was already down there. Even his fellow Renans. We must actually go against what we as a people stand for. Even serious anyway. On true, since he's a sovereign himself, they probably made up a house for him.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
Nah.
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
Well, that's all the information the Lords.
Think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Probably drove them nuts.
World where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you, because we're threats to Rena.
Yeah.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alfin, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too.
Evil people, but people nonetheless.
Balsif and the others, they all had their
That's
own
a nice picture.
circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
There you go.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
No.
Not
Get
at
the
all.
hell no.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
You love to see it. Quest complete. Got a little bit of folded money. It's Law's turn. Let me see. And boom. Alright. Penetration is 40 plus. Counter edge. You can battle chain, increase critical damage. Yeah, I say we need another KO prevention. Alright. Oh, it's not too bad that our food's almost gone. We can rest it in and talk about it later. Alright, let's see what's over here. Oh. Let's hope for the best. We got a grape gel.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest
Sorry, y'all.
itself is always
There's been a whole bunch of dialogue, hasn't it?
In which case, the current
part of
sovereign
RPGs, am I
Rena
right?
should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory
Yeah,
serves.
Cislodia.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem is the current ruler
Whatchamacall.
of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
It's creepy.
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies.
Yeah, that's
The
kind of
question
weird.
is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then
That's
where
strange.
are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both.
Nothing's
Though
adding
we
up.
are Renan by blood. Neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Alright. And there's stuff I need. No, we're not gonna find owls here. This is running after all.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avatir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already.
Ooh, that's a
Nothing
blow.
to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out.
Why are you insulting this
Even
man?
After 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed.
You don't
one
know
bit.
Dohalim, he ain't like that.
But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace,
And so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you
You
peace.
peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
How could you say that about Dohalim? Oh, dang, that woman's so scary.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Yep.
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Come on, Dohleem, you gotta
Did you mean what
go
you said?
detail.
About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
Yep.
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to.
How you gonna handle this?
You have just as much reason to kill me as
Yeah, she does.
Dohleem!
Forgive me. Some things are best
That's
left
what I
unsaid.
said. Dang, this is a whole lot to unpack. The kids out there fighting. Orange gel. Place is providing some nice little incentives. Seems Astro Arts are a rarity. Oh, what's over here? Yoink. What we get? Tofu! They're feeding, man. Alright, let's save a little. Probably save again in the next few minutes, but hey. Just so we won't have to go through all that, y'all.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah. It must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohleem?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
Yep.
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed.
Dang.
Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy.
Hey.
Four people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohleem.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing.
That's a nice way to love.
Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Yep, let's have a flashback.
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
True.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering.
Yeah, they'd have a worse Lord.
Like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
There you go, Dohalim.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Awesome.
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
That dude was watching from the shadows.
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
Oh man, I could have done this to pull up the skill panel. Whack. Alright, let me see if we can find some more items. Then we'll stop in the shop, and I guess we gotta call it a night. Sorry, y'all. Kinda expected some fighting, but it ain't happening.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Man, I can manage my ranch from space. Ooh, look at all that meat we got. We got beef, we got pork, we got chicken, we got horse meat, we got sheep meat. Give me some more of that horse meat. No. I'm not buying these yet. Let's see. Forge a weapon. Ooh, look at that bad boy right there. The Lenegis the Renan. Man, this gun looks ugly. Lenegis the Renan. Yeah, we're gonna need some more money, yeah. Okay, we're out of Manted Claw and Dark Mane. Oh, we can do it. Dang, we can't really sell much of anything.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Let me see. I might still try to switch that sword. Looks kind of nice. Supreme Graphic. See, that's the one thing I didn't like when it came to armor for this. It's like, they're pretty much just color swaps. I won't make it sad. I mean, there used to be a lot of detail going into getting costumes in Tales games, but everything's locked behind a paywall now. Alright, we'll sleep there later, and I bet you there's probably Zoogle territory up there next, so. Anyway, guys, this is the Hermit. Yeah, sorry guys, this was a dialogue-filled episode. Hopefully we'll have some action tomorrow. Anyway, I will catch y'all later. As always, drink your water, stay out this heat, and I hope you enjoy your day. Take care.